Hello, Ogarden, and welcome to your deck review. I have read your primer, and I see that we are working with a Ygra beatdown slash combo deck. I'm not really sure of that as a premise, but we can dig into it a little bit more. I see you're looking at cutting out the Hazel combo. You want to tighten the timetable to pop off, and you're looking for suggestions to maintain both the possibility of Big Kitty eats people and the combo parts that help Ygra get huge. So the bad news there is those two things are almost always going to fight each other. There is one notable overlap, which is any combo that is based around repeatedly sacrificing something that can stay and work harmoniously with I have a really big kitty that eats people. But if you were trying to kitty max, um, what you would probably want to do are things along the lines of, and I'm not sure exactly what we have in the deck, but what you would want to do is stuff along the lines of like Genesis Chamber, Hunted Bone Brute, the type of stuff that will give your opponents fodder so that you can then kill it with sweepers like maybe Massacre Girl or Languish or anything that just says kill all the little guys. And then you, boom, amazing, big kitty. None of those cards are combo pieces. The stuff that's combo pieces is, I see Mirkwood Bats over here. Hey, that's a way to turn all our token generation into life gain, life loss. It's really for Golgari, it's going to be something along the lines of like, how can I sack something without spending mana? That's one piece of it. Have your sack outlet. After that, how can I have the act of sacrificing something give me a benefit? Whether that is drawing a card, whether that is putting a counter on something, whether that is making a token. And then how do I connect the loop of I sack a thing to get a thing, and the thing I got helps me make a new thing to then sack, right? And then it's usually a three-part combo of some sort. And it will terminate in Infinite Ygra, but it doesn't really, I don't think that really meshes harmoniously because you've already won with the combo at that point, right? Like, there's not a world where, okay, well, maybe I combo off, but if I don't combo off, Ygra's still gonna be a 50-50. Like, every card choice, or nearly every card choice you make in service of making Ygra a 50-50 is going to take away from your ability to win with a combo in a fast timeline. I don't want to sound like, because there's some obvious stuff like, oh, hey, if you play Bitter Blossom and Sephiroth and you sack a fairy every turn, Ygra will get big and it will draw you into the combo. Those types of synergies can exist, but if you want to be tightening the timetable to your pop-off, if you want to be, what bracket are we in? Bracket 3? A bracket 3 tight pop-off to me looks like on my turn 6, I am attempting to win. If you want to do that, the deck would probably need to be very, very focused on what's part A of the combo, what's part B, what's part C. Everything else is either a redundancy for A, B, or C, or a way to tutor A, B, or C. And Ygra is probably not getting any bigger until the combo attempt, and then she's getting infinitely big as a result of your like infinite life drain, or however you were choosing to convert it into damage. So with that out of the way, holy shit, you have Kogla in your dog. All right, I see the vision. I see the vision. I like artifact hate. Other creatures. Okay, so this doesn't even make Ygra big. We just hate artifacts, right? Oh, no, sorry. Okay, it lets you shoot a creature because they are now an artifact, and then Ygra gets bigger, but it's not, it's like artifact hate only kind of, because if you're making Ygra big, you're using it to shoot a creature. Okay, but I'm with it. I I think like this is actually Nissa is a perfect example of the type of card you would want to cut if you are trying to tighten the timetable to a pop off, because for popping off, Nissa does nothing, right? Like she can make a token once, or she can destroy something once, or you have a planeswalker alt, and you should almost never be judging a planeswalker by their ultimate. And the stuff that's going to work for a combo for Ygra is almost exclusively going to be things that we can repetitively do, that we can do on demand. Like this is a very good one. Whenever you sack a food, make a rat, which happens to be a food. So the moment we have a thing that lets us sacrifice a creature with experimental confectioner on board, infinite Ygra. Because every time we sacrifice that food rat, we get a new rat, which is also a food. We feed it to Ashnod's altar. So simple stuff like confectioner, altar, Nightblade, you win. That does not really make Kitty big alongside combo, because Kitty is going from 6/6 to like 500/500 at the same time everybody's dying. And Nissa is the type of stuff that plays the same mid-range game plan of like, oh, I'm going to get some guys. I'm going to get rid of your guys. If you give me a lot of time, my guys are going to be very big and scary, and they're going to have trample. But because it cannot connect the loop on this type of confectioner, altar, Nightblade combo, it's some of the first stuff on the chopping block. The same thing kind of goes for Pest Infestation, because this costs a lot of mana. As we veer towards the higher brackets and as we veer towards tight combos, if you are running interaction, you want that interaction to be highly, highly efficient. And if it's not highly, highly efficient, whatever, we should be proactive. Because if you're a combo player and you have black, generally you believe in yourself to win the game faster than everybody else. And then there's other payoffs like this, which is very cute for the Ygra gets big and eats you plan, and it's nothing for the combo plan. Like genuinely garbage, worthless. And I'm not saying you're making wrong card selection choices, but I really want to drive home this point that there are going to be very, very few cards that are, this is a solid A- for the combo plan and a solid B+ for the mid-range I eat you plan. You are almost certainly going to have to favor one really highly over the other, and most of the cards are probably going to come down as like absolutely, absolutely awesome for the value plan, absolute unusable dog shit for the combo plan. It will probably be such that we can have more things that are great for the combo and okay for Ygra value than the other way around. Like, we're probably not going to have a lot of great value cards that are worth anything to the combo. So the direction I'm probably going to lead you in is, hey, here are all these mid-range value cards that you should just get rid of and cram more combo pieces in, more tutors, more card selection to find the stuff you do want. Arachnogenesis, very cute. Bitter Blossom, very cute. This is actually one of the ones that it probably won't end up going, but this is the type of thing where I might recommend you think about cutting it, because we can't on demand make the token, and that's a really big deal. Huge, huge deal, especially for a Golgari combo deck, because you're not going to like build up over the course of 30 upkeeps to having enough to go off with Nadier's Nightblade, right? With green-black combo, it's typically, all right, I have infinity, or I have 3. That's all you get. Pick one. Pick one. Fuck you. Don't talk to me. So what I think would also help for organizational purposes as you continue editing this deck post this review, if you want to go for the combos, I would go like, I would tag it based on their portion in the combo and that type of like A plus B plus C, where because all of these make tokens. Notably, Camellia makes a token when you sack a food. Right? The loop is 3 parts. The loop is, how do I sack a thing? How do I get a thing for free for sacking the thing? And with Camellia and Ashnod's and Ygra, that's all three. We have infinitely big Ygra. The moment you have Ygra, Camellia, Astronaut's Altar, and one creature you are willing to get rid of, and then if you combine something like Mirkwood Bats or Nadir's Nightblade on top of it, now you have infinite life loss. Versus like Bitter Blossom, you're getting one every turn, but at no point can you ever go infinite with Bitter Blossom. Like Chitter Spitter, great overrun card. It's gonna take a lot more work to go infinite with Chitter Splitter, Bitter, not Splitter, because at no point can, because it doesn't fit into that same loop. We have to add in, okay, well now we have to be able to untap this artifact. Now we also have to make a colored pip instead of it being manaless like it is with Camellia the Seed Miser. So it would only work with Phyrexian Altar, for example. Fountain Port's kind of the same thing. Like, it's a land. I'm not going to recommend you cut it because, yeah, you have 36 lands. You need to keep the land. But I would recommend changing your tagging strategy to, instead of going, oh, this just like does the broad category of thing I need, to, if you are playing with combos, and this goes for anybody watching, if you are building a deck that seeks to combo off in a quick manner, tag your combos by the part of the combo loop that it fulfills. And I am not incredibly familiar with Ygra combos, so I will be directing you to Commander Spellbook relatively shortly. But my broad advice would be, anything that I cannot do infinity times in a turn is the first thing to consider cutting. So things like Squirrel Nest, definitely, even though it's very cute and is thematically perfect for the deck. Nissa, Mimic Vat, Hazel, Garuk, Fountain Port, again, considering that we're not cutting this card, Bitter Blossom, Arachnogenesis, even Tireless Provisioner, because I don't think we have a way to get infinite landfall. And I'm not saying you have to cut all of these cards, but these are the cards where it's like, when I think about how the deck needs to make tokens, those guys don't matter. The guys that you need to draw are Camellia, Experimental Confectioner, Nuka-Cola Vending Machine. I don't know exactly how this would combo off because you get a treasure instead of a creature, but I am positive that there is some fucking way to do it. Pitiless Plunderer for the same reason. And Warren Soul Trader for the same reason. So that's only, of the 17 creatures you've shown me, that's 5 that matter for the combo. And if I'm trying to tighten the timetable to comboing off, my first thoughts are like, okay, where's every tutor I can run, even if it's like fucking Diabolic Tutor. I think in terms of, if you're coming from a position of, I don't want this deck to have a lot of tutors, I want every card that I draw to be a unique card that fits into the game plan, I think you have done a decent job of triaging like what still fits on game plan while not being a tutor and not being exactly the card we need. But I would encourage you to question, like, where's the line for that, right? Because is it okay, I'm not allowed to tutor, am I allowed to play card advantage? Because over like Bitter Blossom, I would be playing 6. Sure. Fill my graveyard, ramp. If I mill a combo piece, I get to play it. I would be playing, Stargaze. I'd be playing anything that lets me look at my deck to find one of the 5 token generators that completes the loop for me. Now for ramp, yeah, absolute jokester behavior. That's very cute. What does Thornbrook Forager do? You can forage to add 2 mana in any combination of colors. This is the type of card that is like 100% totally disconnected from the combo game plan, except for that last line of text because it can tutor for Chatterfang. And I believe Chatterfang, Chatterfang is one of the ways we can complete the loop on these treasure lines, right? Because we can go Nuka-Cola, I make a treasure. Oh, but I have Chatterfang, so I make a squirrel too. That's a food. I sack the squirrel to the Ashnod's altar, which makes me a treasure, which makes me a squirrel. You know. And I'm sure you know all of these lines, having built the deck. I'm trying to over-enunciate them for any of our friends on YouTube who may not be familiar with the depravity that is green-black combo. Sure, this is a sacrifice outlet. Sure, that's a sacrifice outlet, and almost everything you're doing makes mana, and so you probably have the 1 to move the Skull Clamp around. Mimic Vat. You're such a little rat. What? Okay. All right. I like this, right? I enjoy this. I think the deck in which you combo off on a tight timetable and the deck in which you are Mimic Vat swapping around Kogla the Titan Ape and Massacre Girl should be different decks. Spiritually. You can keep them in the same deck. Like, we can make a deck that is 96 cards that combo off on a quick timetable and then Mimic Vat and these 3 fuckos. But I do think there is like inside of you there are 2 wolves. They may or may not both have autism, but one of them is definitely bracket 2 and one of them is definitely like bracket 3, bracket 4, really tight combo line. More tokens. Sure, I think this can probably connect the dots some type of way. Yeah, this one's nothing. This is like, and when I say nothing, I mean like fabulous mid-range value card. When it comes to comboing off, this should just be a card draw spell. A card draw spell, a dork to get Ygra out quicker, a tutor, a reanimation spell if one of your combo pieces gets removed, like genuinely anything. Now, the stuff that is making you an additional token per token, those stay definitely in the combo plan because, again, those are the things connecting the dots on the treasure lines. Sure. I think Overprotect is probably unnecessary. I guess Ygra doesn't innately have trample. If you wanted to keep this card, I would not be tagging it protection. I think you're paying 2 specifically to get trample. If you just wanted to protect Ygra, you should do any of the 1 mana options. You already have Tyvar Stand, but if you want to protect Ygra at instant speed, the important thing to do is make sure you can do it with 1 open mana. All right, sack payoff. Good. Fake news. This is a value payoff. Like, it probably could stay because it draws you cards. This one's fake. This one is bracket 2. This is the evil bully Ygra deck. It has nothing to do with the combo. You don't need your opponents to infinitely sacrifice creatures. You need them to infinitely lose 1 life. Sure. I think there are probably more efficient ways to make this combo loop. This, again, beautiful. This is 100% hateful, 0% effective for the combo. And then Surge Injure is cute enough, but it's really redundancy for our command zone, which is the most redundant piece of our entire deck. So I would probably move this over to, again, being more redundancy for like, how do I find my token maker? How do I find my sack outlet? How do I find my drain effect? And so for what you should probably add, for anybody who doesn't know, Commander Spellbook, you can just type in, I've looked at Ygra before, and yet I have forgotten them. So do you have Savvy Hunter? That's the first question. If you don't, they are a free sack outlet that will allow you to draw a card. And then we have, these guys are definitely all in the deck, but you can go through the prerequisites and then it'll give you, here's the payoffs you get. And so it looks like there is a Cauldron Familiar combo line that will, so you go, I have this guy, I sack it to Witch's Oven, I get 2 foods total, I use the 2 foods to untap Witch's Oven, and I sack one of the foods to bring this guy back, and then I get, so this is a combo line you could probably put in the deck. Looks like Insidious Roots can also tie into that. And so if you want to know which ones aren't going to fight with each other, I would try to look for things that have a lot of crossover here. And so it looks like Witch's Oven can get used in a couple different combo lines. It looks like Cauldron Familiar can get used in a couple different combo lines. It looks like you don't have Phyrexian Altar right now, and you probably should, because it is another way to get a sack outlet, and it's going to generate you mana. So anyway, you can continue scrolling through these to your heart's desire, but it's really, I would tag it along those lines, and then anything that doesn't directly contribute to the combo should just become like, even if it's bad draw, it should become some type of card draw. Like you can use, you don't have to shell out for a Vampiric Tutor. You can just be playing just dog shit like Resentful Revelation. But anything that is going to get you through your deck even a little bit faster is what matters. Because at the end of the day, if you want Ygra to be big, you can just ramp into a 6/6 and start swinging at the guy with the smallest creatures. It's going to get bigger. Creatures are going to die. So let me give this a quick play test, because I worry that right now this seems relatively confused. And we also dramatically lack ramp for a deck that wants to get Ygra out really quickly. Okay, we missed our land. That was kind of a spooky hand to begin with. Can't keep this one. All right, we have 2 different sack outlets. Now, notably, we have one of our value payoffs. I won't begrudge you that. But we have 2 things that are token makers and yet cannot complete the loop because we can't do it on demand. So that's one of the problems I was worried about. So we go bam. Go bam. I'll play Bitter Blossom. Turn 3. Isle of Oblivion. I get to draw an extra card because I made a Bitter Blossom token that turn. I go bam. Everybody's about to hate me. So hateful. So hateful. So hateful and rude of you. I'm making some number of Bitter Blossom tokens. All right. And now I get to have Ygra. And at this point, if this was something that could make me a token on demand, I damn near win the game. Because we get an infinitely big Ygra, and we get an infinite number of Scry 1s, and so we can just make the next card we draw whatever the hell we want. But we can't do that. We have maybe, we play this on turn 2, so 3, 4. We would have 3 of these to sacrifice. So we can make Ygra pretty big, but this is a situation where one of these being either another token maker or a tutor to find the token maker we want, or a piece of card draw, is going to help a ton. Other cards that would very obviously be useful are sack outlets like Sephiroth that can convert into draw. I don't think you have to run him. He is very, very expensive. And I know you remarked if we can keep it on the yeah, keeping prices down um, would be better. I think what you need more than anything is to identify who are the big movers in my combo engine. How do I draw into them faster? And the things that make you multiple tokens, I think you can still keep some of the best ones. The best ones I would probably qualify as being like, the bitter blossoms, um, and like bitter blossom. And then looking at anything else you can do, I saw you had like 5 of these spells already. Hold on, where were they? Yeah, draw. So you had the Costly Plunder, Deadly Dispute, Idol of Oblivion. Anything else you can do to be like, all right, I got this big board full of worthless permanents. I'm going to turn them all into draw, and I'm going to hope to God that, 3 of them are Ashnod's Altar, Camellia, and Nadir's Nightblade, and then I'm just going to win the game in your face. Like, that's what you need to be on. And so the Scryfall O tags you're going to care about are Sack Outlet. But if you look at Sack Outlet, you want to look at Card Advantage at the same time. And then you're going to go Commander Green Black, sort by EDH rec rank. Most of these should be usable to some degree, maybe not all of them. Yawgmoth could probably go in the deck yesterday, TBH, because even though you have to pay 1 life, he's card draw connected to the Sack Outlet, which if you're like close but not all the way there could really help. Things like Plumb the Forbidden can definitely help. Decree of Pain would be a pretty phenomenal board wipe for you. But I would look through that. And then the other good... Maybe you don't have to mulch. And then I would just look at card advantage in general. If you want to stay on big kitty value plan, every card can be this like perfect and unique, intricate piece of your engine. If you want to shorten the timetable to comboing off, that is all about redundancy and speed. And redundancy and speed often comes down to how quickly can you select the cards you need out of the pile of 99 cards that you brought. So, I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed.